Shouty hey everyone, Tis Ashley, you know how it is, we're in the hardcore world. You know what this world needs? Some development. We have no roads, no fields, no cities or towns or anything like that. So I think we need to change that. So first off, let's not look in the sky just in case an Enderman comes by. And let's take a look at Zero's world map. I decided to grab this because, it'd be good for planning. Some things I would like to do is I want to make a path that starts here at the house and it will come out to like a little bit of a beltway. Think of kind of what like Houston has for my farmland. I'll have like a path that circles my mound and then just certain paths that lead off to various areas. Like I want one that goes over here, over by this mountainside. I want one to cross this gorge over into the savannah area. And then I want a total of 4 different paths leading off. But at the same time, this will allow me to section off areas for farmland and kind of really start terraforming everything. Because I'm not too worried about having an elytra just yet, taking things slow. Figured if we can get something nice built first, it would be pretty cool, and then we can worry about having an elytra later on. It's kind of something I've been doing in worlds and SMPs nowadays, is I'll wait to like go to the end, so that, I can really focus on the whole bit of just trying to survive, right? And something I would like to do is I want to terraform down a lot of this grass right here. I kind of want it to be somewhat flat, but not like too flat. We'll probably build mountains off of that. But the main thing is we need dirt, and we need a lot of it. So I was thinking of taking down this mound and then taking down that mound over there, this one. That way it would give us a lot of the blocks that we need. So I think we are just going to immediately start with the time lapse, so let's do that. 2.5 hours later, and then some editing, and then some time just kind of chilling after doing all that, we have a flatland. I also did some terraforming over here, just kind of like closing up everything over here. Like the cave over here is now shut in. It could probably use a little bit more terraforming, but you know, I'll take what I can get. I shaved off the mountain, or the hill that was over here. It took a while. I don't know how many blocks I've like picked up. This is phase 1 for the video. So much time went into this. I also did some terraforming over here, just cleaned up some spots and covered a hole that was over here, just kind of making sure that everything, you know, can be turned into how I want it to look. And you know, it's me trying to make sure I can get to a point where I can make everything look like what I want it to. I've also got a composter set up because, you know, we had a bunch of seeds that I probably should have kept now that I think about it. And I've turned it all into bone meal, because you never know when you might need bone meal for something. So I think the first thing I would like to do is kind of get something. I think the first thing I want to do is now I want to start working on getting a path made, and I want it to go from the entrance of my house, right? And it's going to split into 2 directions. It's going to go here and then go this way, which means I'll have to move the bamboo. But at the same time, I want to say maybe around here, it's going to split off and head this way. And it'll kind of be the path that leads to the ocean over there. And then it'll probably split over there and head that way. And then, you know, we'll have this path going this way. And then it'll maybe curve around here, come down, and then maybe around here it'll split again, going that way and then this way. It'll, you know, it'll make it a little windy and whatnot. And I kind of want to throw a building right here, I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of like perfect for like a building. And so I'm thinking, what if I sort of build like a storage shed? I feel like that could be like something useful. We could make it act like an item. We could make it act like an item storage for now, and then, you know, we could have like a secret entrance into like, you know, a bigger item storage later down there. We'll have a path going through here. There's a bunch of fields and stuff. I want to say we'll have a couple of houses sprouted through here to, you know, put like 1 or 2 villagers in. They'll be able to tend to the fields. What I kind of want to have happen is, you know, fill their inventories up with seeds, and then in the cases of like potato or carrot fields or beetroot fields, or beetroot has seeds, potato fields and carrot fields will be manned by 1 villager each. You know, that way they don't end up breeding, which, you know, would not be good for us. And then, you know, we'll just have a bunch of different fields sectioned off. And, you know, another split will probably happen around here. And, or maybe a little closer to the mound, like it'll split off there and meet up with that other path going between those 2 mountains. And then this one will kind of like curve its way like this way. Yeah. So we have a lot of work to do, and I've already spent my time-lapse allowance for the video, so I'm just going to kind of be talking through this. So, I mean, let's get into it. Also, I don't plan on, you know, doing anything too extravagant for the path. I'm not trying to be like Flip or anything, so, you know, the simple path blocks will do us fine. So I wanna start by taking our shield out, And I'll just kind of, make it a little wider as we get to a point where it will split. So, and then I'll just kind of do like a little bit of a wide bit, and then, we'll kind of like split this area over here. Yeah, that way. Then we'll do a little bit of this. So I think I will need to do a little bit of terraforming to kind of like make this a little bit smoother of like a going down area. I do want to put like slabs just to make everything a little bit on the smoother side. Also, I just realized you probably can't really hear me, so apologies about that. Let me just bring my mic forward a little bit. Alright, so that'll be there, and then we'll just kinda, bring this over here. And I feel like, there can be some grass bits here. It's just kind of like to give a semblance of a path that is actively being worked on. But, this area is like, it's my home. So, it's that I come through here pretty often. So, yeah. So, I do need to clean up this bamboo. So, let's do that real quick. And I'll just throw this in my chest, and then, we'll deal with it later. After about a night of, I want to say about 7 hours worth of just kind of tinkering and stuff like that, here's what we've got so far. I've done some pathing. I did a lot of pathing. I kind of, just marked out where I wanted everything to go. And I also built out this farm. I've got an outline going, and everything is just starting to look a lot nicer. Now, of course, we still have a couple other fields that we need to do. I have potatoes and carrots and pumpkins and melons. I don't know if I want to do beetroot. Probably should, just to, keep things, farmable. But, maybe we'll do like a small beetroot field like over here or something. But either than that, we have a structure that we need to somehow think of an idea for, right? Because I want most of my farmer villagers to, reside in the houses. Like, for example, I would love if I can get like a bunch of wheat traders in here. And then, for like each individual field, there's like a house that accompanies it with like its respective, villagers that trade for them. Because I think that would be a really good idea. But, however, we need to come up with that. So, I'm thinking maybe just something simple. Maybe like a 2-story house that, looks nice. It's mainly wooden and whatnot. I'm thinking maybe like a mix of oak and spruce. And maybe with a little bit of birch thrown in there, we could do some cobblestone flooring and carpets and whatnot. We're gonna have to, make it to where iron golems can't, like, spawn within the house or on this side of the house. Which I don't think there's any holes that these guys can spawn in. Unless they, for some reason, spawn down here. Which, honestly, it's fine if they do, I guess. Maybe, probably not. I know they can't spawn in the little bits right here since I've got the slab, but, we'll just have to, ensure that, it's, like, golem protected. However, before we build any houses, I think I should probably get some of these fields at least going, because, I can't really say where I want these houses to be without knowing where I want the fields to be. I could totally decide that just by, placing down outlines for, potential housing. But like you see here while I'm clicking on my bed, I can't finish the wheat field because I'm trying to leave space to, make sure I have enough room to build the house in. So, if I can, there we go. I have a little bit of an idea, because obviously I don't want, you know, the potential carrot field to be like huge. I don't want it to, you know, take up this entire space, especially since I want to put a path that goes around the backside of this hill right here. So I'm thinking maybe have it about the same size as the wheat field, but like put it right around here in between these two paths. That way it's like at the corner of this like junction right here. And, you know, obviously we have to finish pathing on this side, you know, that way we're not like taking up space. But, and then maybe we could have, okay. Maybe what we could do, right, is build the carrot farmer's house like at like right around here, and then have like the field kind of like sort of kind of like the shape that the Wi-Fi symbol has, that, you know, that everyone uses, but like make it a curved bit like behind here. I think that could work. Yeah. So, do I have cobblestone on me? I do not. Alright, let me go fetch some, and then we'll kind of, like, block this out real quick. So, I'm not too great at diagonal builds, so I think I will just kind of... What if we just, we'll start here, right? And then we will make this, like, a little bigger. You know, we'll do a little bit of that. And then we need to bring this that way. I'm not gonna break the torch. Okay. Oop. There we go. And we now have the carrot house. Oh, why am I trying to break that like that? Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we have this, right? And I'll just do that. That way we can like path from here. Another thing I'm trying to do as well is I want all of these houses to have 2 entrances, even though the villagers won't be able to come out of the houses, because I want them to stay protected, and I don't want them to end up breeding more villagers. That wouldn't be particularly great, I'm not gonna lie. I just want to make it seem like it's a functional house for them to live in. So I don't have a shovel. So let's go take a little peek-see with our villagers and kind of go grab one. And so we'll just kind of do a little bit of this. Just, yeah, and then bring that out. And then, yeah. There we go. That way, you know, we have a nice little entryway going in and out of the house over here. So, and I did do some of this. Let's bring this out. I'll kind of do a little bit of that. So here what I want to do is I want to sort of enclose the carrot field. Kinda, maybe a little bit, I don't know. Let's see what we can do here. I know one thing I do want to do is, for this area, I want to bring this part up, and then I want to, you know, put slabs in the places where, I will be going up and down on. That way I don't break any crops when I'm harvesting, because, you know, that wouldn't be particularly great. So, let's see what we can do crop-wise. Okay, let's see, maybe start here and do a little bit of, we'll just kind of go around. It should be relatively large enough. I mean, it works, you know? I mean, it's nothing fancy, of course, but like, you know, I'll just throw that there. Yeah, I gotta shear a little bit of it to bring it up, but you know, this is a decent size carrot farm, I guess. You know, it'll bring in some good usage. So yeah, I mean, I guess now we have to, you know, actually plant our carrots, so that's gonna take a little bit. So I'll just all right, look at that. We've got a little bit of a field, you know, some good stuff. I had to do a little bit of tinkering just to make sure everything fit under here. As you can see, I do have some spots under the slabs where there's water, but you know, it's nothing like crazy. I left this area open because, you know, we gotta build a house, and I also decided to just go ahead and section out the beetroot area, which is even smaller than the carrot area. Because again, I don't think we're gonna be messing with beetroot too much, besides like eating everything, that advancement. So, yeah. Now what we need to do is just figure out how in the world these buildings are going to look, and you know, if I could sleep that would be nice, thank you. So yeah, and look at this, I also made it to where our path looks a little cleaner, because I still haven't fully done it up yet. I did get myself a brand new shovel for that, and you know, my inventory's like messed up. I've got a pillager bottle that I do not want to accidentally drink. That would not be great because I think it's level 5. Yeah. Probably not the greatest idea. But now we do need some materials, and like I said, I wanted to kind of utilize spruce, and maybe instead of oak, since we used a lot of oak up there, I'm thinking, you know, maybe like spruce is like our accent of the village or town, village, town, city bit that we've got going on here. And maybe for the farmers' houses, we utilize like birch, you know. I think it would end up looking pretty nice, at least, you know. It would give some contrast to, you know, our house and, you know, the eventual storage building that will go here, which low-key I kind of want to make look like, what are they called? A silo for, like, wheat and corn and all that. So that could be pretty interesting. So let me gather up some wood materials and some cobblestone and all that, and I will be right back so that we can maybe free build this. You know, I don't think I ordered trees from the heavens. I'm not gonna lie. I think my birch trees have ascended. I'm like, this one's not even like fully gone. Like, what the heck? Okay. Anyways, we've got materials, and let's just kind of do a little bit of digging, because I do want the floor to be cobblestone, mainly for the fact that the floor is going to be, you know, it's going to be covered, so no one's really going to see it. And honestly, I probably need to fill this in, because I'm thinking iron golems are probably going to spawn in that area. So, oh, that's going to be... Or, well, no, we could probably just put slabs everywhere and be fine, I think. I think. I don't know. I'll have to, like, see, and then, you know, if it does end up happening, you know, we'll throw slabs down there. Because we have blocks for days. We can deal with it. Alright, there we go. So I do want this to be a 2-story sort of deal. So let me just quickly do this, and then we are going to remove the walls, because now we know where the walls are going to be first off. So I think what I sort of want to do, right, is I want to make it to where the stations, they're accessible, and you know, they'll be able to get to them in time for, you know, a restock or whatever. So I just need to figure out exactly how I want to place everything. It's also the case that, you know, I need to get villagers with carrot trades. So let's see. First off, let's just go ahead and make a quick crafting table. Some building and a bowl of chili later, and we've got a little house for the villagers. I decided to do this off screen just to kind of figure out what I wanted to do. Of course, you know, it doesn't look like the greatest in the world. I'm not the best builder ever, but I figured, you know, this should be pretty adequate for our villagers. So as you can see, there's not a lot of detail. I've got their composters in, I've got their stairs, I've got iron golem protection going on here. Every block should be not spawnable, so any iron golems that spawn should be, you know, ideally out here in this area and like not in the field or anything like that. Here's hoping on that front at least, you know. And honestly, it works really well. I think this turned out really good. I do still need to bring villagers over here. I don't know if they... Oh, okay, they have started breeding. Okay, good. This is good. We have 1, 2... Okay, I think we only had 2 extra beds, but that's fine. Because the babies can get through the doors, and I don't want them going through the doors, to be honest. So, yeah, no, honestly, like, we did really friggin' good, honestly. And now it's just the case that we need to bring the villagers over here and give them carrot-specific trades. And, you know, if they end up with, like, wheat or beetroot or anything else like that, that's fine too. But yeah, you know, these will be our carrot farmers, you know? Honestly, I might put some shelves on the window, like spruce bits right here, just to give it a little bit of texture. I think that might be a good idea. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just cut, and then we will get those villagers transferred over. And with that, everyone here is now a carrot farmer. Sweet. I probably should put these back on if they will get out of the darn tootin' way. Good lord. Please get out of there. Please. Like, just move, please. Thank you. Alright, with these 5 guys here, we now can finish building the rest of the carrot farm. So, if we just, hey, look at that. We have carrots everywhere. Look at that. We have a nice house with a nice carrot field and a nice path. And I'm not gonna lie, it's been, you know, this is, wow. I've put so much time into this. It's kind of honestly wild, am I right? I mean, shoot, we haven't even built that house, or the one over there. We've not even made the potato field, if anything. But honestly, I think I might just save that for, you know, next episode. So, if you guys enjoyed this, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share with your friends. And you know what? I have a challenge. For every subscriber I get within 7 days of this video coming out, I will place or adjust 100 blocks. Or every like this gets, I will place or adjust 50 blocks. How about that, you know? I'm just saying. Anyways, y'all have a good one, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.